You can save big money with intelligent EDM graphite selection. I am Matt with 3D Graphite, and we are going to review the real-world EDM graphite material selection process in 5 easy-to-understand steps. Note, this might seem elementary. However, I still see over 50% of our customers buying inexpensive graphites to save money and losing up to 10 times what they think they saved on the back end. This is worth a listen even if you are an EDM veteran. Okay, here we go. Step number 1, graphite machinability. It is my personal experience that most shops don't pay much attention to the machinability factors of their graphite unless they're having a major issue like chipping. Chipping typically happens in the roughing stage and is realized in the finishing stage. Although this typically is a result of programmer operator error, there are graphites out there that are more prone to chipping. These same graphites that are prone to chipping are prone to chewing up expensive diamond-coated end mills. So, beware of inexpensive high-end graphites. They produce a great surface finish, but are not so great in regards to machinability. When picking a graphite material that is right for you, it is important to pick one that will give you the strength to resist damage in the machining process and in the EDM process while not being prone to chipping and extensive tool wear. Maybe you don't have issues right now with your graphite machinability because you dialed in your process for the material you use. Maybe there are graphites out there though that you could be more aggressive and that will give you more life on your diamond tooling. Step number 2, surface finish. The old EDM saying goes, final surface finish of the electrode will be the final surface finish of the cavity being burned. So, it only stands to reason that the inexpensive graphite grades with the larger particles will produce a rougher surface finish, and the expensive graphites with the smaller particles will produce a finer surface finish. Choose too low grade of a graphite thinking you are saving money is costing you big time here. I've watched countless shops spend enormous amounts of polishing time, and all they had to do was just use a finer grain of graphite. Step number 3, metal removal rate. Maximizing metal removal rate is key. This is typically measured in cubic inches per hour. Typically, you can remove more metal per hour with less expensive, larger grain graphites. However, while a low grade can increase your metal removal rate, it only makes sense that reducing the total number of electrodes can also reduce your overall cycle time in the EDM. So, using a material with finer grain structure, you can go from 4 to 2 or even 1 single electrode. This is a huge time savings in machining and EDM tank time. So even if the metal removal rate is a little slower with the higher grade, not having to make and use as many electrodes offsets this. Finding the right balance between metal removal rate and surface finish is worth investigating. You can visit our website and get in touch with us for a free consultation and access to our extensive testing throughout the industry. Step number 4, electrode corner and edge wear. Electrodes are most vulnerable at their points and edges. EDM is an art of settings optimization. When I was a kid, I used to watch old toolmakers walk around with a Walkman to listen to feedback when dialing in EDM settings on their old E-Locks and Hanswood machines. Nowadays, the machine technology basically does it for you. The trick is to use the smallest number of electrodes possible without slowing down the process to a point of diminishing return. Recent leaps in EDM machinery and electrode material technology has improved machining speeds and wear. I suggest checking out Mitsubishi. Although most of the EDM manufacturers are good, Mitsubishi seems to be leading the pack on all categories. It's an amazing company. In the past, shops had to use 3 to 4 electrodes for a burn, and now it's down to 2 or even 1 single electrode. These new EDMs are putting a serious dent in my graphite sales. That's okay. And finally, step number 5, cost. Graphite material cost should be considered and watched closely, but should be the absolute last determining factor in material selection. If you were to design a pie chart, the total fabrication cost of the EDM process using material cost, electromachining, diamond tooling, EDM processing, inspection, and polishing, material cost would just be a tiny sliver in that pie. For example, let's take two ends of the spectrum in graphite quality. Here we have our 3D68 grade. This is a very popular American-made graphite on the lower end of the spectrum. And here we have our 3D3 grade, which is our premium grade, American-made and comparable to Poco 3 for reference. It is hard to tell them apart visually, but this 3D68 blank costs about $10 and the 3D3 blank costs about $60. Here's a standard cavity electrode. This electrode took about 1 hour to machine in our Rotor's high-speed mill. With 3D68, it could take 4 electrodes in the EDM tank to achieve the depth and surface finish required. At a shop rate of $65 per hour, the cost of material and mill time to machine this electrode is about $75 each. $10 for the material, $65 in mill time, times 4 electrodes is a $300 investment. Using the same premise, but using 3D3 with only 2 electrodes, your investment is $125 each. $60 for the material, $65 for mill time, times 2 electrodes is a $250 investment. $250 versus $300. You are saving money with graphite that is literally 6 times the cost. Just the cost savings to machine less electrodes puts you ahead of the game. In fact, if you follow the basic math, the 3D68 could be free and you would still be ahead by $10 using 3D3 because of machine time savings. And of course, you will save huge on less EDM tank time and polishing. So instead of adding more EDM equipment and people to your EDM department, maybe check out our new graphite materials first. If you are interested in free samples of our premium graphite grades that are American made, or would like a free consultation, please visit our website at 3dgraphite.com or give us a call. If you enjoyed this video, please pound that like button. It'll help out a ton. And as always, make it a great day.